Has a child ever accidentally exposed a lie to you? I've been a wedding photographer for 12 years, and I've captured hundreds of perfect moments. Last summer, I was hired to photograph what appeared to be the event of the season, a lavish garden wedding at a historic estate. The bride's family had spared no expense, imported flowers, a string quartet, and enough champagne to fill a swimming pool. During the cocktail hour, I was taking candid shots when I noticed a little boy, maybe 7 years old, sitting alone on a stone bench. He was the ring bearer, dressed in a miniature tuxedo, looking absolutely miserable. I approached him to get some photos. "Hey buddy, want to show me your best superhero pose?" I asked, trying to cheer him up. He looked at me with the most serious expression. "I'm not supposed to talk to anyone about stuff." "What stuff?" I asked, lowering my camera. "About Uncle Marcus and the lady in the red dress." I glanced around. There was indeed a woman in a stunning red dress chatting with other guests. "That's just one of the wedding guests, right?" The boy shook his head vigorously. "No, that's Daddy's girlfriend, but Mommy doesn't know she's here." My blood ran cold. The groom, this kid's father, had invited his mistress to his own wedding. "Are you sure?" I asked carefully. "Yeah, she comes to our house when Mommy goes to work. Daddy told me she's teaching him Spanish for a business trip, but they just kiss a lot. He said if I told Mommy, she'd be sad and the wedding would be ruined." I felt sick. The kid continued, completely oblivious to the bomb he'd just dropped. "Daddy promised me a PlayStation if I didn't tell anyone until after the honeymoon, but you're not family, so it doesn't count, right?" Before I could respond, the groom appeared, his face pale. He'd clearly seen us talking. "Hey champ, your grandma's looking for you," he said, steering his son away. Then he turned to me, his voice low and threatening. "You heard nothing. I'm paying you to take pictures, not to gossip." I spent the rest of the reception in turmoil. The bride was radiant, completely unaware that her new husband had invited his affair partner to watch them exchange vows. The woman in red even caught the bouquet, and the groom had the audacity to applaud. As I edited the photos later, I noticed something I'd missed at the time. In one candid shot during the father-son dance, the boy was whispering in his dad's ear, and the groom's face was twisted with panic. In the background, slightly out of focus, the woman in red was slipping out the exit. I struggled with what to do. Professional ethics said I should stay quiet, but 3 weeks later, I received a call from the bride. She was sobbing. Someone had sent her an anonymous email with security footage from the hotel that night, showing her husband entering the woman in red's room at 2 a.m., still in his wedding attire. "Did you see anything?" she asked me through tears. "Any signs I missed?" I told her about my conversation with her stepson. She was quiet for a long moment. "A 7-year-old knew the truth about my marriage before I did," she finally said. "He tried to protect me, and his father used him as the accomplice." The divorce was finalized 6 months later. The bride got full custody of her stepson. Turned out she'd been raising him since he was 2, after his biological mother passed away. The last I heard, she'd started a successful event planning business, and the boy was thriving in his new home, free from the burden of keeping his father's secrets. Sometimes I still think about that wedding, how a child's innocent comment revealed a web of deception that would have eventually destroyed that family anyway. But mostly, I think about the bride's strength in choosing to become that boy's sole parent, saving him from a father who would manipulate his own child to hide his betrayal. The boy was right about one thing, though. Talking to the photographer didn't count. It was exactly what needed to happen.